Hi, my name is Ashani Yapa and I'm from Sirus Migration. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the differences between the employer-nominated visa, namely subclass 186 direct entry and subclass 482. Why I thought of doing this video is because most of our clients are confused about the requirements and also the benefits of these two visas. And I'll often get asked which one of these visas is right for me. I will first talk about subclass 186 and then I will talk about subclass 482 and compare the two. Subclass 186 is permanent visa. In other words, once granted, you will become an Australian permanent resident. You can include your family in this application, or once the visa is granted, you can bring your family over through family visas, such as partner visa or child visa. Let us see who is eligible for subclass 186. In most cases, the applicant has to be under 45 years old. The main applicant's occupation has to be on the medium to long-term occupation list. We will put a link to this occupation list in the description below. The main applicant must have a minimum of 3 years skilled and full-time equivalent work experience. There are two critical words here. One is skilled. Skilled means the applicant must have their work experience completed after they get their qualification. That's in the required level for each occupation. For example, if it's a chef, they need to have a diploma. So they need to have their diploma certificate completed, and then only the 3 years work experience can be counted. The other critical word is full-time equivalent, which means the work experience can also be part-time, but in this case, it is calculated pro rata. For example, if someone works for 6 years part-time, this can be counted as 3 years full-time now towards subclass 186. This is actually a new change to subclass 186. Also, in most cases, the main applicant must have a positive skill assessment. There are again few exemptions for this criteria. The main applicant must have competent English, which means IELTS General 6 in each band, or PTE 50 or above. Also, any secondary applicants who are over 18 who are also joining the applicant when they apply for the subclass 186 must have functional English before the grant of the visa. But if they don't get that, or if they can't pass their English test, then there's going to be a secondary application fee. Now I will compare these points that I talked about to subclass 482. Subclass 482 is a temporary visa. It can be granted for up to 4 years depending on your occupation. For subclass 482 visa, you can include your family in the application, but they have to be at the same place as you when we lodge your visa application. Whereas in subclass 186, your family can be anywhere and we can still include them in the application. And there is no age limit to apply for subclass 482. So applicant can be over 45 or even over 55. As long as they qualified, we can lodge a subclass 482. And your occupation can either be in MLTSS, STSOL or ROL. So any of these occupation lists, which means 482 gives a larger cohort of applicants the opportunity to apply for the visa compared to subclass 186. For subclass 482, the applicant does not need to have a formal qualification. If they have a sufficient work experience to cover for their qualification, then they can just go with their work experience. For subclass 482, you do not need to have skilled experience. So your experience can be before or after qualifying with the required level of qualification. For example, again, if you're a chef, you have been working for 5 years and now you studied and got your diploma and be qualified as a chef, you can straight away apply for subclass 482. So as you can see, the work experience and the qualification requirement is more relaxed for subclass 482 compared to subclass 186. Again, the work experience can be full-time or part-time, and if it's part-time, will be calculated for pro rata basis. Again, in most cases, applicants do not need to have a skill assessment. Only some trade occupations need skills assessment for people holding passports from certain countries. And you know that for subclass 186, you must have a skill assessment. Only the main applicant need to prove the English language capacity for subclass 482. In other words, secondary applicants do not have to sit for an English test. I think I have now covered the main differences between subclass 482 and 186. Hopefully this video will give you a better understanding of which visa suits you the best. So when you talk to your employer about a potential sponsorship, you know that which visa that you're going to talk to them about, which is the right visa for you. If you need any further advice or if you need assistance in applying for any of these employer-nominated visas or any Australian visas, please feel free to get in touch with us. Thank you.